Okay, we have all been there, right? Staring at a blank slide, knowing you have hours of tedious work ahead of you just to create a presentation that, let's be honest, is probably still going to be a little bit boring. But what if AI could change all that? Today, we're diving into PageOn AI, a tool that's aiming to do exactly that.
But before we get to the shiny new solution, let's actually talk about the problem. Because when it comes to making great presentations, the struggle is definitely real.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. When your boss or a client says, hey, we need a deck for this project, what's your first reaction? Is it excitement, or is it more of a quiet internal groan? Yeah, you are not alone.
And this right here is why. It's the endless hours of just formatting, nudging text boxes a single pixel to the left, hunting for the perfect stock photo. And you do all of that, but if you're not a professional designer, the content can feel static, uninspired, and the final result, after all that work, it's often just boring.
All right, so that's the pain point, but this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. So let's meet the potential solution to all that frustration. Say hello to your new AI design partner, PageOn AI.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, PageOn AI is described as an AI-powered visual communication platform. Now, the two key words to really focus on here are platform and interactive, because this is designed to be way more than just another tool for making slides.
And here it is, the core promise, the big, bold idea. It's about taking that little spark of a thought you have and letting an AI transform it into a professional, compelling visual story. And the best part? Doing it in minutes, not hours.
So you might be wondering, how does the magic actually happen? Well, this next section breaks down the whole process, and honestly, it's surprisingly simple.
It pretty much boils down to these 3 steps. First, you give it your input. That can be a raw text, a document, or you can even just use a voice prompt. Then, the AI's intelligent agents, you can think of them like a tiny specialized AI team, they get to work. They research, they plan, they design. And finally, you receive this dynamic, professional visual that's either ready to go or you can jump in and tweak it to perfection.
Now, this is where things get really cool. What's so interesting about this tool is how it wants you to move past the whole idea of a traditional click-through-the-slideshow presentation. It's all about creating something way more engaging.
You know, this quote from the source material absolutely nails it. Think Notion, but visual. Instead of boring, static slides, you're building with these interactive, modular blocks, kind of like digital Legos. You can snap them together, rearrange them, embed videos, whatever you want. It lets you create this non-linear experience that is so much more engaging for your audience.
And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? We're moving from something static and flat to something interactive and dynamic. We're going from a rigid, one-way path to a flexible, modular layout. But let's be real. The biggest change for most of us is going to be jumping from a time-consuming chore to getting it all done in just a few minutes. Okay, let's peek under the hood at some of the really cool features, because this is where PageOn AI starts to feel less like a tool and more like a creative partner. We're talking AI-driven storytelling that actually helps you craft the narrative. It can pull in real-time citations, which is huge. It can even automatically generate a voiceover for you. And you can add dynamic effects, 3D models. It's a full-blown creative suite. So who is this actually for? And maybe more importantly, what are the first people to use it saying about it? Let's get into the final verdict.
Well, it turns out the tool is designed for a really wide range of people. You've got educators trying to create more engaging lessons, marketers building out campaigns, content creators who need to stand out, and really any business professional who is just tired of the old way of doing things. The appeal is super broad.
And the feedback from early users, it definitely reflects that broad appeal. A 4.7 out of 5-star rating, that's seriously impressive for a new tool. It suggests it's really hitting the mark and delivering on its promises.
I love this user review because it sums things up perfectly. They give it high marks for speed, creativity, and just how easy it is to use. But they also give a really balanced take, noting that if you want to use the really advanced interactive stuff, there might be a small learning curve. And you know what? That seems totally fair.
So if all this has you intrigued, the next question is pretty obvious. How can you try it for yourself? Let's wrap up with exactly how you can get started. Probably the best part is that there's no real barrier to entry here. The source material makes it clear there's a free plan available, so you can just dive right in and start playing around with it immediately. No commitment necessary.
And hey, as a little extra incentive, it also mentions that if you find PageOn AI through the Quasa.io platform, you can even earn a small crypto reward just for giving it a try. And so that really brings us to the final question. With the tool that can turn a simple idea into a dynamic, interactive story in just minutes, what will you create first?